All right, welcome to the Black Accents Club podcast. Thank you for coming through. Let's just start by introducing yourself.
Well, thank you for having me. My name's Keoree, for people who do or do not know me, and I am a content creator and influencer.
Okay, so when did you decide you wanted to do content creation and become an influencer?
Well, it all started when I used to watch a lot of YouTubers all the time, and you used to see them on YouTube, and you probably had that feeling as well, like, oh, I want to do what they're doing, or I want to make money like them, and I just started to keep continuing watching them, and I was actually really shy, and I'm not the type of person that would be in front of a camera or like taking pictures or whatnot. Like, I just kept that to myself. So for the longest while, I started filming myself with, I think it was the first iPhone, where it had no front camera. So I used to film myself and put on my dad's phone and say like, hey, this is what I do during the day, and I'll take pictures. And then it progressed even more when I started learning how to actually upload different videos and actually use Instagram. And now it took me to where I'm at now, which is being a creator and influencer.
Okay, so that's your start. So when did you, how old were you when you started this?
When I started this, well, when I fully got into this, would probably have been like about a year or so when I fully got into it. But when I actually started this, I would probably say like 2 years ago, I started doing a YouTube channel. And then from there I said, why not try to do this with Instagram? So I started really doing Instagram about maybe a year and a half ago.
Okay, so when you started, how many followers did you have?
When I first started, I actually had 1,000. And then from there it just progressed and kept going. It took a little while, and then I started getting a lot more people coming to me based off of the hashtags that I use. And these hashtags would get out to people based off of what I put on. So if I have on, like today, I have on a Jimi Hendrix shirt, I can use the hashtag Jimi Hendrix, and then I'll get a whole bunch of people coming because they like Jimi Hendrix.
Okay, I never even thought about it that way. Okay. Yeah. So I just, I wear select brands. I'm very, let's just put it this way. I spend my money. I'm very frugal in a sense.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't just go and buy anything. I'm not saying that people do. I just support select brands, like brands that I like, and that I like what the people are doing and stuff like that.
Definitely.
So for me, it's just I also don't take a lot of pictures, which is what I'm learning because I'm trying to up my Instagram game. I don't know if anyone actually follows my personal Instagram, but lately, I think just the month of September, I'm just been trying to post at least once a week. So it's just I don't know how you all do it, man. It's a lot of work.
It's a process, basically. What I basically do to continue on what was said was that this is something that I do part-time. So whenever I got free time, anything, I would take pictures. It's a lot of work. So it goes from making days for content days. I would probably have about 5 outfits with me. And I go around Bermuda and I take pictures, and I would upload them on days that I can. I would have a set time for when I do upload my pictures. If not, then I would just upload it any time. And I would just take pictures, change outfit, go to the next occasion, and keep going so that I can build up on content.
Okay, so when it comes to your upload schedule, do you look at your analytics and see when it's the best time to upload or no?
That is one thing that I do try to pay attention to a lot. And for example, I try to upload around 3, and I realized that was the best time because a lot of people are always on the phone around 3 for some reason based off of my analytics. And it's something that I'm still trying to figure out why people are always on 3, because there's always a why to everything. Why are they on the phone at 3, or why not at 12? Why not at 1?
Right.
And because it makes a whole big difference on when you upload. I actually had uploaded a couple days ago at a certain time, and my numbers were so different compared to when I upload at 3. Like when I upload at 3, like my likes go crazy really quickly. When I don't upload at 3, like it takes a little while, but it still does come.
Okay. That's interesting because they say analytics is, you have to look at your analytics in order to grow.
Definitely.
And that's something that I just post up whenever I feel like
Yeah.
I'm really bad at that. All right. So, you are signed to an agency, correct?
I am. I'm currently signed to Play Influencer Management, which is in the UK. And it's a bit of a struggle because I'm in Bermuda versus in the UK. So certain events that I I get invited to, I can't go to. Like I recently got invited to Pretty Little Things events. And I'm in Bermuda, so obviously I can't go, or I haven't traveled in a while. Well, put it this way, most of us haven't traveled in a while.
Right.
So it's like trying to find things in Bermuda to do. What can I do? Where can I go? How to network and things like that. And they also help me with getting different brand deals, things like that. So I had recently been with a management before, and things were not the best, as in trying to find different brands to collaborate with, and it was the worst. So I had sent them a nice little email like, hey, I'm in Bermuda and I want to be able to get some brand deals. Because this was like around the first time I was really starting to get them.
So,
And
like, when was this? Like, when you started taking your Instagram more serious? Or
yeah,
before
when I
that?
started taking my Instagram more serious, and I had signed to this management, and it was me trying to get brand deals. Like I had a few, like maybe about one or two, and I was like, okay, I think I could got more. Let me reach out to my management and see if they could help me out. And no feedback. Like all they said was, hey, I would put in the Instagram post if it's UK or worldwide, and that was it. And I just thought that for management, I wanted to be like more one-on-one, like, you know, hey, how you doing type of situation. Because with the management I'm with now, and what I love about them is that they would check your Instagram page here and there, message you, say, hey, how you doing? Are you using the tips that we give you? Different things like that. And when I moved over to my new management, I had to explain, like, I'm in Bermuda, and, you know, it's a little bit difficult for companies to send things here. So I would like some more help with that. And they actually sent me a whole list of brands that I can reach out to, which was the best thing about this management. The more hands-on, they're always there. And that's just what I love about them.
Okay, nice. So, you reached out to them to get signed, basically.
Yeah, so I actually was looking on Instagram, like, where can I go and get signed and things like that. So I said, I'm trying to find somewhere better. I explained to them, like, this is what I want done, as in, I want to be able to have one-on-one, you know, consultants, try to figure out, like, how I can benefit from this, how to upgrade my Instagram even more, how to speak to different brands, different events I can go to, things like that. And they just put it all out there for me and said, we do all of that and even more. So that's what drew me to that management.
Okay. So, do you pay them? Do they pay you? How that works?
So it's a one-time fee for me to use them. I don't remember how much it was, but I'm not gonna disclose that anyways.
Right.
But it's a one-time fee, and it's just for consultant and also to give brands and management as well.
Okay. So you said you had like so basically you said you got issues with getting the clothing or whatever here, right? Because
Yeah.
it's all based in the UK.
Yeah.
Have you tried using like my US shipping?
I've actually just tried to do research on that, so I'm still in the process of learning how to use my US and things like that. Because what I'm trying to do is find the easiest way that I don't really have to pay anything, and then they just send it to me. So just trying to
Okay.
figure out like what's the
So-
best move to go.
Because in Bermuda you're gonna have to pay something.
Yeah.
Right. So with my US shipping, it is free.
Yeah.
They do have a UK address as well as a US address.
Okay.
So what you can do is if someone wants to send you something and they're doing the shipping for free, they just send it to the my US address, and all you do is pay for it to get from the UK to Bermuda. Because either way, you're gonna, like, it's Bermuda, we gotta pay anyway. Even if it's a gift, you still gotta pay duty on it. So that would be my suggestion to you is use my US, use the address. It is free to have, so it's not like you're paying to have this address or whatever.
Okay.
You just sign your name up, and then you just give whoever that address, and everything goes to them. You upload. They have an app. You just upload your invoice, and then you select what shipping option you want to Bermuda. So you decide on how much you want to pay to get it to Bermuda, and how fast, how long, or whatever.
Okay.
And then come straight to your door. Literally, come straight to your door, just like it would with like DHL or anything like that.
Okay,
so
I'll give that a try.
That's definitely an option, so that way you're not limiting yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said you do YouTube as well. Talk about your YouTube channel.
So my YouTube channel name is actually Key_, and
that's KE or
KE. And basically I started this when I was away in Miami for a little bit. And what happened was, it was something that I thought that I can do, get out my comfort zone, which I definitely agree that everybody should get out the comfort zone. Do something that you're scared to do. That's my advice, because it would definitely push you and make you stronger, for sure. And I realized that when I did my YouTube channel, I was actually really shy. Like, I never really liked talking to a camera, like I said before. I hated it. I didn't like the sound of my voice. It was just a lot when it came to editing and actually looking back. And now that I'm comfortable with, like, editing, hearing my voice, looking at the camera, like, I'm not a shy type of person at all. So I love to talk to a camera, and I thought that this is something that I can do. Like, every day I talk, like, 9 times out of 10, and I'm not saying everybody can become a YouTuber, as in that's something that they want to do. But most of the time, like, if you want to be in stardom, I definitely will recommend YouTube. If you can send a voice note to your friend for like 6 minutes, then you definitely could talk to a camera, for sure.
Most definitely.
And that's what I noticed, because most of the day I send voice notes to my friends and it's like 2 minutes long, and I'm like, okay, instead of talking to my friends about stuff, I could just talk to a camera. And not everything you should shoot to a camera though, but when it comes to being a YouTuber, because I do vlogs, lifestyle stuff, which is also on my Instagram as well, I would show people when I was away, like, what I would do during the day. Like, it would be like what I eat, where I go, basically like a dorm tour that I used to do, and many things like that. My biggest video will probably have to be my dorm tour.
So you was in college or university?
Yeah, I was in college in Miami for a little bit, then came back, and then I just decided to go back to work and work on being an influencer at the same time, because it was something that I've always wanted to do. Like, and eventually when it comes to the time, I will probably make this full time, where I'm always going to be doing social media, helping people with social media, promoting different businesses, and creating content for different businesses.
Okay. So you said you was in college for a little while. What were you studying when you were there?
So I was studying culinary arts.
Okay, so you wanted to be a chef?
Yes.
Do you still want to be a chef, or not really?
It's still something that I want to do, as well as on top of what I just said just now.
Okay. So you see yourself, would you see yourself being a cooking YouTuber, or no?
Not
more lifestyle.
Not necessarily. And I say more lifestyle because I like showing people like what I do during the day, like get up, go do self-care. Like, I actually watch those YouTubers, and I find it very satisfying, like, to watch somebody show the different products that they have, clean up the house, go out for the day. Like, for example, I was literally, before I even got here, this morning, I actually love watching this girl, Alyssa, I think her name is. And she literally would go ahead, go to Target, show what she goes to Target, get things for her boyfriend's game, wear different colors, like, and it's satisfying to watch people go to Target, mostly because, like, we don't really have stuff like that in Bermuda.
Right.
And it's like, okay, I like to see the enjoyment of YouTubers go to different places like Walmart, Costco's, different things like that, and I just find it satisfying and pleasing.
All right, for those that don't know, we are located in Bermuda. This podcast is based in Bermuda, and in Bermuda we do not have any chain restaurants or stores or anything like that, just so you know. So that's why she's saying she enjoys watching that, because we don't have it here. I'm pretty sure it might be different if we had it, but who knows. Yeah, so what else you got to tell us?
So with my YouTube, I actually went off a little bit for YouTube because it was something that I felt as though it wasn't for me at that time. And everything, it all comes to timing, basically. So I did a video a while back, and certain things you do have to watch out being a YouTuber, being a content creator, influencer. Certain things that you have to watch out what you say, because it can come as backlash, or you can get cancelled, as what they say now. And I did a video a while back when I was in school in Miami, and I had joined a group, and it was just like a woman empowerment group for black people. And this is like right in the process of me doing the interview so I can get in. And I had said,
to get into school?
To get into this group.
Okay.
And this was like a online group, basically. Like, we do Zooms, we meet up, or maybe call on Instagram, and different things like that. And right before the process, I had filmed. And this is one thing that, as an influencer, content creator, YouTuber, like, we film everything. And it's not a good thing, but it's also not a bad thing either. Because right when I was doing this process, I had filmed, and I was like, man, this is like taking so long, like, they should have been here on time. And this is just me in general, because I'm a type of person that tries to be there on time, or tries to do things on time. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I am a little late, but this time I was just like, they're taking so long, like, they should have been here. And I kept that in the vlog and said that, and I ended up joining the group. And within a year of, like, I want to say I was there from September all the way up to December, or around that time. I actually got pulled aside after a meeting, and it was like the worst feeling ever. Like, a feeling like you're getting picked on and everybody's looking at you. And they were like, well, we would like to talk about your video and what you had said. And I was just like, and YouTubers, they don't really look back at what they say like that, because you got like 1 million videos. Like, your favorite YouTubers probably got like 300 vlogs, and one person could be walking on the street saying like, hey, you said this in your vlog number 5. Like, how are we supposed to remember all that? So they had pulled me aside and said, hey, you said ABC, and we would like you to take it down. And it actually really upset me, because 1, I didn't realize what I had said, and then 2, I didn't realize how much exposure I had put out on them, and 3, like, it also upset me because that video had like, I think 300 plus views. It was a Miami vlog, and I went out about in the mall, did things, went and ate, went to different arcades and things like that. And it gave exposure to Miami, because some people love seeing Miami vlogs. That's one thing that I had noticed. Mm-hmm. A lot of people like to travel to Miami, and they also want to see what's going on in Miami. So I definitely would say, if you are in the process of doing anything on social media, I would 100% be careful what you say, what you do, who you're around, because it definitely does come back and haunt you, or definitely comes back to getting back at you for sure.
So with that, do you feel like some people have to not be themselves 100% because of that, or what do you think?
I would say it's 50-50 really, because certain things you can, like, you gotta be careful what you say. So, like, with my situation, I look back at it and I say I shouldn't have even said that, or even if I said it, take it out. Because not everybody needs to literally know every single thought process that you're going through.
Okay, fair enough. So, have you ever been put in a position where you feel like you had to not be yourself because of what other people think?
I would probably say it has been a few times when I've gone out in public and actually vlogged for a little bit. And normally I'm like a person that's like, oh, I'll show everything, like what I'm buying or whatnot. And this is in the beginning of when I first started actually taking my vlog camera outside. And it was new to me because it's like people's looking at me. I'm not really talking. I'm not really showing anything. So it was more like I show and then instrumental. When I look back at that, I realized that I can do a lot more talking. Like when I was away, I had went to Publix a few times because that was right by the school I went to, and I had went and vlogged, and it was just me going to the store, picking up a few things, and coming back. When I could actually talk about what I had got or what I had picked, what aisle I'm down, like go more into detail, because I realized based off of the YouTubers I watch, they like to go into detail. A lot of people want to go into detail, like, oh, what ice cream did you pick up? Maybe I might want to get that ice cream, or what sandwich did you buy? Maybe I want to get that.
Okay. So, do you do TikTok as well?
I don't do TikTok, and I'm actually, like, I just use it for the fun of it, but I am in the process of trying to learn how to get out there on TikTok even more. So I do look at different YouTubers, what they do, how I can incorporate my Instagram and my TikTok together. So I'm in the process of learning about TikTok.
Have you monetized your Instagram?
I haven't fully monetized it yet because I'm still learning about monetizing and what I can do to get monetized and things like that. Because I'm still learning about a lot of things in the influencer content industry. So once I'm like fully ready to monetize, then I'll definitely go on that process of monetizing.
Okay, so what do you mean by fully ready?
So, because currently right now it's just like a part-time thing. So it's like I reach out to brands and then they would say yes, no, and then from there they would send me a product. I would go ahead and based off of the guidelines. And one thing that I did notice that a lot of brands don't really have guidelines, and I wish that brands had guidelines because, like, I could use this shirt for example. I actually got the shirt from a company, cut and cropped, and they didn't have a guideline, as in what did I need to do with this shirt. And it was more of on a creative way that I have my own creativeness to it, but I still want to be able to fit the guideline or the girls or what the business is about. I don't want to just post a video and say like, oh, I got this shirt, boom, that's it, and then they don't like the video or it's not fitting the feed or the aesthetic or anything like that. I rather have a guideline so that I know what I'm working with, what I'm doing. Like, I actually got a paid collaboration one day from a company called the Killer Brownie, and what I liked about the Killer Brownie was that they said, this is what I want you to do, as in create a reel showing the brownies. You can either be eating it, you can be opening up, whatever. So I decided to open it up and, well, backtrack. What I did first was I went ahead and just showed the brownies, and that was it. And I said to them, I'll show you the video so I can get approval, and then we can go from there. Because some companies don't even ask for that. And I rather do it that way because I don't want to do the video, and then it's like I eat the stuff, and then, oh, this is not the video I want or I was looking for. And a lot of companies need to be doing that, because you could have a shirt, let's say this shirt for example, and you could have this shirt and you end up losing it, and you do the video and that's it, and they don't like it. But when it all comes back, you want to be able to perfect it in a way that they like it, or the brand wants to see it, so that when they put it on their page, it fits in their goal, their niche, or the aesthetic.
Okay, understandable. So that actually gives me tips, because I'm not sure if you know, but I saw the clip. Oh yeah, you know, because you took the pictures for my hats. But it helps me understand. So say I give someone a hat for free. I'm like, okay, this is what I want. This is what I don't want. Don't do this in the picture or video, whatever type thing.
Definitely.
So that definitely gives me some advice as someone that's starting a clothing brand on how to approach influencers, as well as to give them guidelines to stick by.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. And so you do photography. Let's talk about that.
I do a little bit of photography on the side. I probably picked it up really around when Corona first started, and it was just something I do just for like a little fun or anything. It all started first with me just doing pictures of myself. Then I said, let's progress this and actually get a camera. I used to have a camera previously before, and just a small little Canon, like something that like a tourist would have. I used to take pictures with that. Then it progressed even more when I got another Canon, a little bigger than the little tourist camera that you have. And I got that from my dad. And it used to be his old camera, and I thought it was pretty cool, like go around, take pictures. It was just landscape at the time, and I don't hate on landscape, but after a while, like, it starts to get boring. Like, all you see is flowers, grass, sky, like, and I wanted to be doing more than that. So I started taking pictures of, like, when I go around town, I would just, like, go to people. And one thing that I loved about just going out to people and taking a photo was that my photos actually showed a story. And not only that, but I also had a conversation with some people, because a lot of people don't really have conversations with so many people in town that are just sitting there or whatnot, like the homeless people. I actually had a conversation with two guys. I cannot remember their names, but we were speaking for a little bit, and one of the guys said, "Oh, are you so-and-so's grandchild?" And I said, "No, but you probably would know my papa, which is Cleveland Otterside Simmons." And he was like, yeah, I know him. And we had a conversation, and I got to know him and heard some stories about my papa and how he used to sing with them and whatnot. And that's the beauty of photography, is that you get to learn stories about people and connect with them and make your photos become a story and let people see that story through the photos.
That's dope. I actually just interviewed someone, and he was like how the beauty of just talking to someone works more wonders than trying to sell something to someone.
Definitely.
If that makes sense. So I would say I am a shy person. Like, I've always been in my shell, in my bubble type of person. And doing this podcast is completely outside of my bubble. So this is me getting outside of my comfort zone to try and do better for everyone else, not just for me, you know?
Yeah.
Because I did start this podcast. Really, I started the Instagram page first. As a way to try and make money off of Instagram. That epically failed. And I'm glad it did, because it made me stop and think, why did you really start this page? Like, why did you come up with this name? You could have came up with any type of name, but you came up with the Black Excellence Club, like, you know? Yeah. You came up with that name for a reason. So it made me just take time to think, and why did I start it? And then how can I move forward from that? And that's where I got the idea of doing a podcast, because the reason I started the podcast was because, the Black Excellence Club was because when I was trying to learn about investing, finance, like just getting ahead in life in general,
Yeah.
I was never looking at someone that looked like me with my skin color, so to say. So it's just like I'm tired of looking at a white man telling me what to do. Like, no, thank you. Let me find some educated, not necessarily educated, but experienced people who have information and are willing to share it. Because there's a lot of people out there that want to help other people, but sometimes they just don't know how. So I'm trying to create a platform where they can do exactly that. So what do you think about that? What do you think about the Black Accents Club and what I'm trying to do?
Well, I could definitely agree with your statement because I'm a type of person that likes to help people as well. And with the industry that I'm in now, with being a content creator, influencer, doing a little bit of photography, whatnot, I do help some people on the side as well. Like, I have a couple of friends in the UK that always come to me, ask me for help. Like, hey, how did you get a collab and whatnot? And I am in the process of going to create a masterclass in the future where I go ahead and talk about how I became an influencer content creator and how other people can do it as well. And reason being is because a lot of people don't have that opportunity in Bermuda. And I'm mainly just focusing on Bermuda because we have a lack of a lot of things. And I just think that it all starts from where you come from, like your parents, what they do. And I'm not saying that parents aren't doing anything, because there are some that are. But when it comes to different group activities or things for the younger generation, like when I grew up, I never had anything like this. I had to research everything myself, as I said, watching a whole bunch of YouTubers and just seeing what they do and going from there. And it's all about just taking the leap. Like, yes, you're gonna make mistakes. Yes, you're gonna fail, but it's all about getting back up and trying again. Like, when I first did my very first YouTube video, that only got, like, I think 5 or 10 views. And just because you got 5 or 10 views doesn't mean that you should stop doing what you're doing. You should just keep going, because eventually somebody is gonna stumble upon your video. And it takes me back to a moment when I was in primary school. I was watching a documentary about Justin Bieber, and he was saying that his videos weren't getting much views or anything, and then it eventually blew up, and he was found by, I believe his manager, Scooter Bryan is his name, and he just blew up, and there he went. And it's all about keep on trying, keep going. Like, just because we're in Bermuda doesn't mean that we're not going to be found or seen. Like, look at Kaylin Castle. Like, she was found and seen, and she's doing her thing in Atlanta. And it's all about keep on trying no matter what. Like, and back to what I was saying was that I eventually want to help the younger generation if they want to become influencers or content creators or whatnot. So I am still in the learning process, like I said, and doing what I know first before I'm able to create a masterclass or whatnot where people come in, ask questions. I could teach them how I became a content creator, influencer, and help them, because there really isn't much in Bermuda to help people like us. And I believe that with what I do, I can help and achieve great things.
Most definitely. That's good that that's what you want to do. That's definitely a way to monetize yourself as well.
Yeah.
Once you get there. And it is definitely a need for that. That would definitely be filling a need, because everyone wants to be an influencer right now. No lie. Everyone wants
Definitely.
to be an influencer of some sort. Like, so yeah, that's good. I like that. Are you monetized on YouTube yet or no?
I am not. Well, like I said before, I took a little break from doing YouTube, and it gets to a point where you don't know what you want to do. And I got to that point and I was like, I don't know what I want to do on YouTube, because everything in life has a purpose, or I believe everything in life has a purpose. And when it came to my YouTube, I was just throwing out videos, just doing stuff. So I was just like putting out different videos, doing story times, and it just like made no sense to me. Like, why was I putting out this video? Like, what purpose did it have? And I remember putting out a video, a story time about a friend, and it all goes back to what I said, like, be careful what you put out. And this video wasn't anything negative, anything, because there was a lesson to the video after. But based off of the video, the way that I put it, it didn't come off like that. And it's just, I got to a point where I was just like, am I putting out this video just to put it out because other YouTubers are doing story times? And just because another YouTuber is doing it doesn't mean that you cannot do it, but it doesn't mean you can do it. Like, you have to watch how you do stuff. Like, for example, let's say Chris Brown does a backflip, right? And you're like, oh, just because Chris Brown did a backflip, I'm gonna do it too. Like, it doesn't come off in a positive way, and it doesn't come off negative either. But then, let's say his next video is he gets his hair orange, and you get it orange too. Like, then people start to see, like, you're just copying Chris Brown. So, you want to be able to jump on different trends at certain times. Like, kind of like TikTok, basically. Like, you see people doing dances and they're trending, hop on it. But don't be, like, constantly just repeating what other people's doing, because then it's not looking original. And that's the thing that I started to realize, is that I'm doing a story time just because other people's doing story times, or I'm doing a vlog just because they're doing a vlog. And it may not look like that, but I can see that I was starting to do that. So I backtracked, went through my YouTube, and I said, okay, this is what I'm going to put on private just for myself. And then this is what I'm going to put on public so that people can see. Because certain videos I started to take down because it was negative. Like, and I realized at that time I was in a negative space. Like, just putting out story times, and it was negative, and it wasn't what I wanted to let people see. Because what I am versus what I was putting out was not the same. And when I did that story time about some friend that I stopped being friends with, my dad actually pulled me aside and was like, what was the purpose of that video? And I had no response. And it was just to put it out there because other people's putting out story times and whatnot. And it was something that I did not want to show, but I was still putting it out there just for content. So I took a little break from YouTube, and I said, what else can I be doing? And that's when I started to focus more on Instagram. Like, posting pictures, posting things on my story and things like that. And then from there, that's when I realized that this is something that I can actually do. Focus on Instagram for a while. And then while I was focusing on Instagram for a while, I said, what can I be doing on YouTube? Like, what is my purpose on YouTube? And that's when I stopped away and said, if I do story times, I want it to be story times with a purpose. Like, something that's a lesson that people can learn from, or an outcome that's positive. If I do vlogs, then I want to be showing everything that I do positively, instead of always just throwing out a camera just because.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I definitely resonate with that, because I went through the same thing with my YouTube channel. Because I started I started really watching YouTube and trying to learn how to get into a better place during COVID. So I was like, I'm starting a YouTube channel in January because that's what everyone else is doing. And like it was something that I had put on the back burner for like a whole year and a half prior to that. So it's not like I never wanted to do YouTube. It's like I wanted to do it. I just didn't know how to start or where to start. So I'm not sure if you heard of this YouTube channel, the Black Hustlers Club.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Yeah, so I was watching Jarrell like all the time. So I was like, that's why I said, let me start the Instagram page to try and make money from it. Yeah. So that's where it all came from. So like the first like one of the first series I would say on my YouTube channel was growing an Instagram page. But this ain't for me. Like, it's like, I can literally say, like, it's not for me. Like, it's like, I grew the page up to like maybe 400 followers, maybe. But then it's just like, how can I monetize it? How can I do this? And then it's just like, no, this isn't why I came up with this name, like I mentioned before. So it's just like, took a break from that, but I was still doing YouTube. And then what I realized is that I'm trying to make videos like everyone else in that niche, so to say.
Yeah.
So I took a break from YouTube as well, but I kept recording. So like, I took a break last year. I started back up in January this year, and I'm just like, yeah, I need to do it. I stayed consistent for about 2 months. Like, you know what? I'm taking a break again. And it's not like I took a break because I didn't know what my purpose was. It's just like, this is too much work for me right now. Like, in my headspace, it's too much work. But I kept recording. So now I have a backlog of like a year's worth of videos. It's just not out yet. So, and as I'm progressing forward, it's just like, I now know my main purpose. Like, you know, it took that time away to figure that out. Because at first, my YouTube channel was just my name. But now it's unknown to unforgettable. Because when I really think about it, that's my purpose in life. That's something that I say every single time. So I'm like, hold on. Like, I'm just on a journey from unknown to unforgettable. So if someone says, hey, what do you do? I'm just on a journey from unknown to unforgettable. Okay. Simple as that. Like, that's the easiest way for me to put it, because like, I'm trying so many different things. So it's like, I don't want to say, oh, I'm a podcaster, oh, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a this, I'm a that. Yeah. I'm just on a journey from unknown to unforgettable. I don't know how I'm going to become unforgettable, but some way, somehow I'm going to get there. And I'm just documenting the journey so that I can always look back. So it's more so like documented for myself than it is for other people as well. So I also feel like once you change that aspect of doing it for yourself than doing it for other people, it helps with the clarity, because no, I'm just doing it to show the progression, especially in Bermuda, because like you said, things are harder in Bermuda. Like, I just went through something crazy, and it's just like, only in Bermuda, like, if I lived somewhere else in the world, this would not have been an issue. I would have not wasted all this money type thing. It's just like, it's definitely harder in Bermuda. The systems in Bermuda need to be changed. Like, it's so much that just, like, it's a lot that pushes entrepreneurs down than lifts up, is what I'm learning from my own experiences. So if I'm only experiencing this much, I know someone that's tried, say, 10 different businesses have experienced this much pushback and different things like that. It's just crazy, man. Absolutely just crazy. So let's talk about future stuff. So what do you want to do in the future?
So for future stuff, like I said, I want to make this full time. I actually literally just had a conversation with somebody about this topic, and I also started to write down some of my goals, like what do I want to do with YouTube, what do I want to do with Instagram, and I started to think, like, what can I do to push myself and get myself further. So I am looking to create a brand eventually in the future. I haven't figured out what it would be yet, but just something that I would like to be the face of. I also am in the process of creating a masterclass, like I said, so that I can help Bermudians become influencers, content creators. I also do want to work on monetizing my brand as well on Instagram, getting out there even more. And then in the future, I do want to work on getting into different events, like flying out to go to different events and networking outside of Bermuda.
Okay. So, are you interested in investing or anything like that?
I am doing research on that currently, and just investing in stocks and things like that. I haven't really, previously before I did dabble in it, and at the time when I dabbled in it, it wasn't for me at that moment because I had a lot going on. So I decided to drop it. But I said I will get back into it when I'm fully ready to have that mindset.
Okay. So when you say you're looking into it and researching, like what type of stuff have you been researching?
So Well, I actually used to do I Am Academy a little bit.
Okay.
And then I stopped with it just because, like I said, it wasn't in the mindset at that moment. And I had a lot going on.
So I Am Academy is Forex trading, right?
Yeah, like Forex exchange. Okay. And so I do read the news. I do look at how the stocks go. I have emails that come into me about the foreign exchange and things like that. So I read over there sometimes.
Okay. And generational wealth. What do you think about that?
What I want to do, because I always had this talk with my dad as well. I believe that we need to go ahead and get these stepping stones for like when we have children. And what I mean by that is that work on what we're doing now at a young age, like work hard, push hard, but don't push hard too hard, where you like stress anything, but you want to be able to work hard when you're young, and then when you get old, you want to be able to relax and use that money that you have for your children to set them up for success. I always had a thought that if I was to have children, I would start them off young with whatever business that they want to create. Like if it's lollipops, candy, something like that. And then get them in the young so that when they're in like the teenage age, they'll like run any business on their own. Whatever type of business it is. It doesn't really matter. But just something that they're excited about doing and loving what they're doing.
Okay. Is there anything that we haven't spoken about that you want to talk about?
Not that I know of.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna start. How old are you? Sorry.
I am 21.
21. Okay. I'll still ask you this question. So these are a series of questions that I ask everyone at the end of each episode. Okay. So what advice would you give to 18-year-old you about what you're pursuing now?
Well, to look back at my 18-year-old self, the advice I would have given myself is that to never give up and always keep pushing. Because when I was 18, I did kind of give up, or I didn't know what direction I wanted to go. I can say that I was just a shy person at the time, not sure where I wanted to go. So I would say keep on pushing, and your purpose is yet to come. Because, like, I was literally saying to somebody yesterday, like, I didn't know my purpose until, like, I would honestly say this year. And that's because it took me time to realize, like, what did I want to do in life. And I found out that, like, being an influencer, content creator, and giving people advice was what I wanted to do. So I would definitely say to not give up, to keep on trying, keep on pushing, and just be yourself.
All right, that's what's up. What advice would you give to our listeners on entrepreneurship and being a creator and influencer?
My first advice would be anybody can do it. It's definitely something. If you have a phone, if you have a camera, a laptop, like any type of technology that you have, you can literally start now. Like when I first started, I used to say like, oh, I just need to get like the best camera, or I need that camera that the YouTuber has. Like literally, you don't even need that. Like some of your favorite YouTubers right now are using the iPad to record or a phone to record. Like literally. And I used to be discouraged about that. I was like, I need to get that like camera. And you honestly really don't need the best technology to put out on YouTube, put on Instagram. Like if you're good at editing, or even if you're not good at editing, or you know somebody, like this is why networking is the best. Because if you're not good at editing and you know like people that are, then network with them and speak to them like, hey, can you teach me how to edit or whatnot. Like I was always using YouTube to help me, and I'm always a hands-on type of person. Like I love being creative, hands-on, and helping people out. So when it comes to me, I always spoke to people. I was like, I don't know how to edit. Let's go on YouTube. So I went to YouTube and started like trying to find the best app that I liked, because everybody uses different apps, and whatever app works for you, you can use. So I started trying to find different apps that I like, different ways to edit, things like that, and I finally found the things that I liked or works for me. And editing is pretty straightforward once you really get into it. But based on how you want to do it, it's based on what app you have as well. So like, there's different apps like Cut Pro and CapCut and many more. So I started dabbling into those, using those, and that's how I got into figuring out how to edit. Another thing is be yourself, don't be afraid, just show that, because people love to see who you truly are more than something that's fake. Like, don't get on there and because your favorite YouTuber always wears pink, you're gonna wear pink too, and you might not even like pink. Just be yourself. Another thing is, when it comes to being a YouTuber, I would say, if you're doing vlogs, I would say film everything and then look back at every single thing and check out the parts that shouldn't be showing, take out parts that you don't like or whatnot, because when it comes to being a vlogger, people love to see everything, like go through the store, maybe what shoes you buy, what vegetables you get, or anything like that, or where you going. That was one advice that was given to me when I watched a YouTube video from a YouTuber. She was explaining how if you're trying to be a vlogger, vlog everything, because a vlog basically consists of what you do throughout the day. Another thing is that people love to go into detail of your day. Like, it's not just short
people
little
things. Are pokey, let's just be honest.
Yeah.
People are pokey, so that's why they're gonna sit there and watch every little thing that you do.
The crazy thing about it is I sit there and watch this too. Like, I like to see different YouTubers go to Target, Walmart, like do their hair, go get a tattoo, like different things like that. I like to see. Another thing is, just because you don't have the best technology doesn't mean that you're not gonna make it. Like, you have to stop that mindset. And I had that mindset for a little bit, but then it came to me realizing that just use what you have. My first vlog camera, which was really crappy, was, I don't even remember the brand of it. I don't even think it had a name. But every time I filmed in the bathroom, it was orange. And I look back at this and say, like, I've actually grown from it. And one thing you have to realize, and I always have to tell myself this as well, is look at your growth. Like, I look back at my growth, and because I archive a lot of my Instagram photos, some things that people don't know, is the photos that I did not like or did not do too well, I archive them, and I always look back at them and say, hey, this photo was like this much, but like, look at you now. So always look at your growth, always believe in yourself, and always keep on achieving.
Okay, so what's next for you, Keoree?
The next thing that I want to focus on is networking, getting myself out there more, mostly in Bermuda, because as I see my Instagram, it's just UK and the US. So my goal for not just this year, but next year as well, is networking, getting myself out there more, and just keep on achieving and keep going.
Okay. What would you say to your future self 5 years from now?
What I would say in 5 years from now to myself would be just to never give up, always think positive. Because I do sometimes get into spaces where I think negative. Mm-hmm. And I just want to keep on thinking positive, keep on achieving, keep on pushing, and believing in yourself. Because if nobody's going to believe in you, if you're not going to believe in yourself, then who else is going to believe in you? So it's just about believing in yourself, achieving, making sure that you're always happy in a good space, and just keep on pushing.
Okay, and last question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I want to be able to help young people in Bermuda with becoming an influencer, content creator, I do see myself, like I said, creating a masterclass or some sort of Zoom where.
So will it be up and running in 5 years? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I do see myself helping people because I didn't get the help myself when as being a Bermudian. So it's like you have to reach out to other sources like YouTube or different platforms outside of Bermuda, and I believe that there should be something to help young people in this process.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't have any questions.
No. All right. Thank you for your time, Keoree. I really do appreciate you coming through on the podcast. Where can the people find you?
So you can find me on Instagram at official.Keoree, and you can also find me on YouTube, which is key_, and you can find me elsewhere through my Instagram, link in my bio on other platforms.
All right. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
And it's a wrap.